Good morning. We are in Erie, Pennsylvania, and still testing the my CLS-60 and CLS-370 Yoke and Rudder pedals from FliteSim.com, and I'm using my new big screen Beyond 2e, and so we're basically gonna do. I did a similar flight yesterday, or last week, last Saturday, and we're gonna do kind of the same thing, but today we're gonna use the Reality Expansion Pack 172. And I was kind of waiting for kind of getting ready to start. I was kind of looking at my frames and frame times, and not sure what's going on, but like I put it up here. I mean, it changes pretty dramatically. I'm not sure what is going on, but that's not what I normally see. So I'm not sure what changed, but something changed. So we'll have to see like just how well this goes. We have really seriously overcast skies. Whether that has any influence or not, I'm not sure. But we'll just see how this goes. If it turns to be kind of bad, then we'll figure that out from there. So I have adjusted my IPD of my headset a little bit, and last Saturday I had it set exactly the same as what my I went and had my eyes checked, and I had them recheck my IPD, and I had it set exactly what my IPD was there. I have reduced it by 1 on my left and right eyes, so my IPD is 1 less than what it was last Saturday. So we'll just have to see how much of an influence that has. So. Alrighty, so once again we're testing this the new FliteSim FFBTools version 3.3.3, and so right now there's the amount of force. There's minus 5.16 newtons of force pushing this yoke forward, or yeah, towards the instrument panel. So when I pull it back, pull it all the way back. When I'm all the way back, now there's 35 newtons of force trying to pull that forward. So, and you can't hold this back very long because it's quite a bit of force. So, and let's go back to the back of the plane. So where's the force come from? Well, it comes from this. It comes from this elevator here. So the weight of that elevator, you have to counter when you're pulling back on this yoke. Right now, when there's no air flowing over this. So like I said, it's 35 newtons of force trying to pull this yoke forward. So as I let go of it, and I don't let go of it, just let go, because it'll slam, and I don't really want to do that. So that goes all the way. That goes almost all the way. If I push it on the yoke a little bit, it'll move just a little bit, not much. So we go over here. We look at this trim tab. You see the trim tab is just down just a little bit. And so it says the trim tab position is minus 5.20. And that says millimeters, so mm. So I'm not exactly sure what that means. I need to have some clarification from Fabian as to what that really means. Does that mean... I'd have to do the calculations. 0.5 minus 5.20. So it is a little bit down. So I would assume that means that if it was like flat, not down, that it would say 0. So, and does that look like it's 5 millimeters? So millimeters aren't very big. Not very big at all. So that might be exactly what that is. So that's kind of interesting. And the other thing we'll go over again is so basically you have this enable position direct input. That's enabled. And basically what that does is it allows you in X-Plane to not have to calibrate the yoke or the rudder pedals. So if I go over to my rudder pedals, go to AP, that's enabled. So so that means that when I go to joystick, yoke. Notice all these axes are 0 or none. So so they don't have to be calibrated. And so go over to rudder pedals. Rudder pedals are a little different. So we have toe brakes, yes, but this would have normally say yaw, and but it's none. So that's how that's set up, and it's all because of the new this new software. So I'll resume flight. Okay, we're in the back. Look at the clouds. Yeah, that's. I'm wondering if that's having an influence. There's a couple of things that could be, and I'm not sure how well this is going to fly with it looking like it does. But we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what I wanted to go over. So this is the reality expansion pack plane. So I'm gonna have to start this kind of correctly. So we'll put in just a little bit, and then we'll turn the fuel pump on. Okay, that should be primed enough. So as the plane was starting up, I could feel my rudder pedals. I have them turned down a bit, but I could feel the rudder pedals dancing a little bit, and that's part of the force feedback. So okay, just kind of overlooking things, see how they look in here, and my headset may not be completely warmed up yet. We'll have to see. Yeah, there's a couple of things going on, so let's
Few at 3100 feet. Broken at 4000 feet. Broken at 6500 feet. Temperature 9er. Dew point 6. Altimeter 3042. Density altitude minus 300 feet. Rubber removal in progress. Expect possible delays near the departure end. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor.
Okay. $3042. Wow. Oh, I did not. She told me.
Runways 2420.
Okay.
Wind calm.
That's all I needed. So 24. All right. Yeah. Looking kind of. It's not looking good. It's not looking good at all, so maybe a bit of a challenge for me. So I'll wait a little bit here to let the engine warm up a little bit. Where am I at? 980. I'm good. We'll leave it set there for a little bit. Let the engine, the oil warm up. Not so sure turning down the IPD by 1 helped. Like I said, the headset isn't warmed up. It tends to fog a little bit, and that can certainly affect how things look. So we'll just have to see here. So I still have my big stream beyond 1, and I've been trying very hard to not go back to it. I want to give this one a fair shot because I'm in kind of a return window. I had when I first got my big stream beyond 2E. Probably every 3 times a minute I would get a gray screen. So all of a sudden the screen here would be gray, or second half. And I tried everything. I was thinking that it's my LED light. I turned it off. I was in the dark trying that, and it still happened. So I'm like, that ain't that. So kind of hear it on the big stream beyond Discord. People are talking about bad link boxes. So I said, okay. So I put in a ticket, and they were taking, at the time they finally answered mine, it would have been 2 weeks. So about a week in, I just went, I can't wait anymore. So I bought a link box, and it made it better. It didn't fix it. So finally, customer service got back with me, and basically he says, I had kind of like give a dissertation of what I was experiencing, and so he sent a new fiber optic cable, and they suggested I change my the NVIDIA driver that I was using. So I'm using I was using, let me think, I think it's 576.88, and he suggested 576.28. So that's what I'm using right now. And between all 3 of them, the new link box, the new fiber optic cable, and changing my NVIDIA driver, I have yet to see a gray screen. So evidently one of them was bad, maybe a combination of them, I don't know. But that's kind of where we're at right now. So basically, so he sent me an RMA shipping label, so I sent that link box back, and so once they finally receive it, it should show up this coming Monday. Once they finally receive it, then they'll refund me for purchasing the link box. So far I've been pretty happy, and we're just trying to get it tuned in. In general, it's pretty good. And like I said, I'm the last thing I'm working on is my my IPD, and just to see where that really needs to be set. And so okay, so it looks like the temperature warmed up here. Yeah, we're up Yep, we're in the green, so I'm gonna run it up to, I'm gonna take the RPM up to, at first let me just go to the back of the plane. So you can see where this elevator is. So I'm going to take the throttle, and I'm going to go up to about 2,000. I had to wait till it got warm, so you can see this blue line here moved. If we go back here, you can see that's almost level. You can actually watch the plane dance up and down because of the increased airflow over it. I'll pull it back. Okay. So let's get permission to taxi. We're gonna go taxi down the runway 24, and basically I'm gonna hand fly this thing. So what I'm going to do is climb out. I'm trimmed for takeoff, so that's the elevator trim is set for 0.07000. If you look in PlaneMaker, that is a setting in PlaneMaker for trim for takeoff. So if you look at the elevator it's 11 degrees. So that's kind of where that is right now. So let's see where that's gonna go. Let me go up to 2,000 again. So now at 2,000, it's 2 degrees. So that's kind of interesting information. And when we are trimming, we will, all of this will be relevant. All right. So let me look at my brakes. Everything looks good. All right. So we're on tower. The active frequency is ground, and I have tower in standby. So I'm using SayIntentions for my ATC. We'll even get permission to taxi over to runway 24. Here your ground, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Request taxi to runway 24.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, runway 24, taxi via Foxtrot Bravo. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready for departure.
It's not even close. Clear ground, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Request taxi to runway 24 via Delta, cross runway 2, then Alpha, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, unable to accommodate that route. Runway 24, taxi via Foxtrot Bravo. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready for departure.
You're unable to accommodate that, huh? Seriously. I gotta get a couple of plugins running here. I am getting very, very, very disappointed in SayIntentions. Very disappointed. And I'll explain as I taxi. The taxi route that I requested, the taxi route that I have done in real life hundreds of times. So it says it couldn't accommodate that. We'll try this one more time. KERI ground Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Request taxi to runway 24 via Delta, cross runway 20, then Alpha, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf unable. Runway 24, taxi via Foxtrot Bravo. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready for departure.
Okay. So. So this is Delta. Bravo is over there. Bravo is nowhere as close to here. This is Delta. As you can see by the taxiway sign, this is Delta. That there is Foxtrot. Bravo is over there, alongside of runway 2. We're not using that runway. I don't know if it shows it. No. KERI ground Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, request permission to cross runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cross runway 20 approved. Advise when across.
KERI ground Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cross runway 020, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Not sure what made that happen. For some reason my trim wheel decided when I put the brakes on that it moved the trim wheel. I have to remember to save this flight.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, contact tower on 118.1 so long.
Contact tower, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Wish I knew what made that happen. Right now I'm at a loss. KERI Tower, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Ready for a straight out departure, runway 24. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 256 Bravo Golf, Erie International, Tom Ridge Field Tower, runway 24, winds calm, cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 24, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. So there's something going on with the with my brakes and the trim wheel. Interesting. Alrighty, so yeah, I've been cleared. Well, might as well get at it. We'll work on this later. Gonna go west. That's about as far as I've got planned. Alrighty. Everything looks good. Yep, let's go. So we're at Kilo Echo Romeo India, KERI, Pennsylvania. And I'm just testing out my new my force feedback using some new software. Up we go. So basically I'm testing out trim, and I'm using what's called software trim. So so that basically trims. So I'm trim for takeoff. I'm trying to let the plane kind of settle here, see where we end up. Okay. So it's trimming, it looks like it's about 70, 75 knots. So it's dancing in between 70 and 75 knots. And I'm trying to maintain a heading of 240. So we're going to climb up to 4,500 feet. And after we get up here a little bit, then I'm going to reduce the power to probably 2,300. Okay. So the weather's quite overcast. So I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to fly live weather or not, but my goal was to fly live weather. So I have a force feedback yoke and a force feedback rudder pedals from a company called FliteSim.com, and so those are the only two pieces of hardware I have. I have a VR headset and I have VR controllers, and that's how I interact with the cockpit, is with my VR controllers. So if I have to turn a switch, use the flaps, adjust the throttle, I do that with my VR controllers. Okay, so we're climbing out at like 2310 and right around 80, 81 knots. So, and the thing's trimmed, so. And so the airspeed, so we're trimmed for takeoff. So that mark right there is lined up for the takeoff. And so it's about 80 knots. So we're gonna climb, we're gonna climb up, like I said, 4,500 feet. And then I'm gonna reduce the power to like 1,500. And then I'm going to trim it for 65 knots. So kind of like you would be coming in for a landing. You've reduced your power, and you wanna be at a slow enough airspeed, you know, that you can at least cross the threshold And then after you cross the threshold, you can pull the power back even more. But the whole point is when you're certainly on final approach, the plane should be trimmed where you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is try to keep the plane straight, aligned with the runway. But as far as your pitch, that should be just given. If you are coming in too low, then you give it some power. If you're too high, then you reduce that power. But it should not, the airspeed should remain constant. So the weather isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So. Frames I'm not so sure about, so I got two things I kind of are not quite working the way I want them to work. So I got some weird issue going on with my related to my
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, you're leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Frequency change approved. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Whoops. Transponder VFR. Altitude. And because I got pretty good power in, I have to keep some right rudder in to try to keep that triangle over that dash. So when you get up here high enough, we can see some haze. So, oops, I left it in the turn a little bit too long. So I've made an adjustment to my ITD, and I've reduced it by 1. And so this is kind of a test to. One is how easily I can actually see, and the other is, do I get any eye strain? So, all right, we're at 4,500 feet, so we're going to go back to. Down to 1,500. I'm going to pull back on the yoke. Back on the yoke. Pull back on the yoke. Pull back on the yoke. Pull back on the yoke. I basically kept pulling back on the yoke until I was around 65 knots. And once it was there, then I adjusted the trim wheel to relieve the pressure. And once I was pretty close, I just took my hand off it, and it stayed right at 65 knots. So right now the plane's 1,500 RPM. The plane is trimmed for 65 knots. So as you can see, this blue line here is basically the position of where the yoke is, and in turn where the elevator is. And so You can also see by the chevron there, you can see that we are in a nose up attitude here. So about, what is that? That's 10. We're not quite 5 degrees up. We're about 3. Yeah, about 3. So, but we're trimmed. So I'm not doing anything. I'm not. The only thing I'm doing is trying to keep this on a course of 240. So, and also, I had quite a bit of right rudder in, and I looked up and I seen I had too much. So I had this triangle over to the right too far. So I just eased off on the pressure just a little bit, and that fixed that. So we're gonna go down to 2,500 or 2,000 feet, and then we'll try to we'll increase the RPM up to maybe 2,200, and we'll see if it maintains the 65 or so. So right now we're So what I've noticed with this yoke is it has just a little bit of play when it's trimmed. So in other words, I try when it's trimmed to pull back on it, and I can feel when I pull back on it that if I pull back much more, it's gonna increase the amount of force I'm gonna have to give it to make it move any further. It's gonna increase pretty quickly. So that's kind of where I normally kind of leave it set. And when it's there, then it's pretty close to 65. So, but if I shove it forward just a little bit, then you can see the airspeed increase. So there's, I would say when it's trimmed for this, trimmed here, there's about a 5 knot. I don't know how to describe it. There's about a 5 knot difference in whether the yoke will feel like you have to apply quite a bit more pressure to get it to move. So. So we are on the shores of Lake KERI. So that big lake out there that's kind of hard to see right today is Lake KERI. So we are on the southern shores of Lake KERI. This is where I learned how to fly a 172. I personally have about 108 hours in a real 172, about 12 or 13 hours of solo flight. Never got my pilot's license. I was close, but life got in the way. And but so now I try to replicate what I experienced when I was flying for real. And the force feedback yoke and rudder pedals and virtual reality have pretty well done that. Motion rig would be even further, but I don't have a big enough house to put one. so this is probably as far as I'm going to be able to go, trying to replicate that experience. So far, I mean, I'm quite happy with, I've had the yoke for over a year and a half. I've had the rudder pedals for about 2 months. So and there's a new method of the way that they're controlling the axes, so I don't have to calibrate it. So, but I still got to figure out why when I put the toe brakes on, why it was affecting the trim. That's a little weird. Which one? I'm using more than one Lua script. So I'm using this guy here, and basically that's replicating my rudder pedals and the toe brakes. The one in the middle. What am I calling it? I don't remember. I think I'm calling it a visualizer is what I'm calling it. Yeah, I think I'm calling it a visualizer because basically, just give me a second here. I gotta put some power in here because we're starting to get a little low. So I'm gonna go up to 2200. So I gotta get the plane. So when I put the power in, the plane P factor was affecting it. So for some reason, well, we'll see. We'll see where this ends up. Yeah, so I call it a visualizer. I think I'm pretty sure it's called a visualizer. And I'm sorry it got struck. Yeah, that sounds right. That may be an older version though. I've kind of made some modifications to it, but if you on Discord? Send me a message on Discord, and I'll give you the current version. I probably need to publish it, but I haven't got around to that. I'm having too much fun playing. No problem at all. No problem at all. Yeah, so basically, it has the elevator trim. It has the degrees of the elevator, and the yoke position. And then on the two outside, that's my rudder pedals. So you can see I'm giving it some right rudder. And these two are the brake. This is the in and the out, the pitch of the yoke. And then this is the roll. So we're not too bad. We're yeah. Here's the reason I did that. I have a camera that my webcam shows my yoke, so you can see where the yoke is. You can see me rolling it back and forth, but you can't see my rudder pedals when I'm streaming in VR. So I said, well, I need a visualizer to kind of, and I had found one from It may have been from Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I'm like, wait a minute. I know how to write Lua scripts. I'll just write a Lua script to do it. So that's where I come up with the idea. And it was basically to visualize it. And then once I got my force feedback yoke, it was kind of important to kind of know what these numbers are as I'm trying to tune my force feedback yoke in. So and it's helped tremendously. I think we're probably gonna have to once I get up to the same name, Sparker NVR. That's the same. That's my Discord. Whoops. I think I better turn around. This is getting bad. Alrighty. Turn around. We'll head back to Erie. Yeah, you can just send me a friend request to Sparker NVR. Trying to play around with these clouds. Okay. I'm up full power back. Get rid of some elevation here. I'm gonna try to go through this hole. Clouds are looking a little odd. That one over there, that looks strange. Probably related to the wind. I had to retrim a little bit, just a little bit. I was finding it not staying at 65 knots with 1500 RPM. So I just pulled back on the yoke a little bit, got the nose up a little bit, and we got close to 65 knots, trimmed off the pressure, and we're good to go. So okay. Oh, well, it don't look like I'm going to be able to, there's too much clouds over here, so we'll work our way back over towards KERI again. Not quite sure where I am. I mean, I know all I gotta do is follow the shoreline area show up, but know exactly where I am. Not quite sure, but we do have maps. So where are? Alrighty, so we're south of Conneaut. So, oh, thanks for the follow. Thank you very, very, very much. Yeah, so we're a little bit south of Conneaut. So. Does look like getting back to KERI could be a bit of a challenge here. Oh, really? Huh. Yeah, no, I don't see it. I'll have to look at the BOD. No, I'm not. Earlier in the stream, yeah, it didn't look like it looks right now. Right now, it looks really good. Yeah, that's because I intentionally like look at my VODs to see what they look like, and stutters is not something that I generally see. So so for me, that's a little concerning. I'll have to take a look and see what might be going on. Earlier in the stream, for sure, it didn't. This looks good. I mean, this looks really good. So, I'm not sure. It's stuttering like right now. So I put about 2,200 RPM back in it, and just trying to, I want to stay below these clouds, but the airspeed seemingly, it dropped down to like 59. Yeah, it's still a little porpoising. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back to about 2,000. Try to get this thing to level off. So I gave it a little bit of nose down trim to try to get it to level here. So I'm at around, around 2,800 feet. There's the airport. So pattern altitude at ATIS is like 1,800 feet. So I'm 2,500. So when I get in here a bit, we're actually not too far from ATIS. So better make a call. KERI Tower, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, inbound to land, runway 24.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, enter left downwind for runway 20.
Request landing, runway 24, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, enter left downwind for runway 24.
Left downwind, runway 24, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. So you can see the pappies. It's kind of overcast enough that there's actually the lights and stuff are on at the airport. So thank you. So it's kind of hard to see through the haze, but we have a peninsula here at Erie, and so it kind of goes from the land. It's really thin as it leaves the land. Then as it circles around, then it gets wider. So it's about 300 acres there. Okie dokie, I've got to get rid of some airspeed here. So let's pull back on the yoke. $80 knots is way better than 90 knots. KERI Tower, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, downwind runway 24.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, winds calm. Runway 24, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, runway 24, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Wind's calm, really. Didn't quite feel that way. Okay, there's the numbers. All back on the yoke. The power back to about 1500. First notch of flaps in. Second notch. See what happened there.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, contact ground on 121.9er.
Contact ground, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. If you try to force it, then you're gonna either land, you flare it out too quick, and then you're 10 feet above the runway, you've run out of airspeed, and you're gonna hit the ground, but not smooth. So, yeah, that one turned out pretty good. I wasn't sure on the approach. Wasn't happy with the approach, but it turned out okay. And why did you change? Not understanding how some of this is going. KERI ground, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Request taxi to General Aviation Parking, Park Stand 5.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, taxi to Park Stand 5 via Alpha 2, Alpha Delta, hold short of runway 2, then Foxtrot. Good day.
Taxi to Park Stand 5 via Alpha 2, Alpha Delta. Hold short runway 2, then Foxtrot. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a pretty limp windsock there. KERI ground, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Request permission to cross runway 20.
Cessna 6 Bravo Golf, cross runway 20 approved. Advise when across.
KERI ground, Cessna 6 Bravo Golf on Delta. Cessna 6 Bravo Golf. Mm-hmm. Hello, Mr. Fuel Truck. Come on. Okay. Yeah, that looks really bad. Not sure what's going on here. That's really bad. Yeah, I bet this doesn't look good at all on the stream. Huh. I wonder. me try something. It's not that. It's not weather. Not weather at all. Let's try this. So I'm using a reality expansion pack airplane. I've been using them for a while, and I kind of like them. So, all right. So I just jumped into the default Cessna, and quite frankly, I can't see any difference. So that's not what it is. Not sure what it is, but that's not what it is. So, one last thing to do. File. Save flight. Okay, replay one. Yeah, that'll work. So the one cool thing we can do